Hi there, I'm Jason, and tonight we're going to discuss Advaita. What does this word Advaita mean? It's a Sanskrit word that is oftentimes defined as non-duality or oneness. And it is a study that goes back quite some time. Advaita Vedanta, for instance, is called the end of the Vedas. Um, the premise of the teachings of the Upanishads is on this Advaita, or this oneness, this non-duality. And Nisargadatta Maharaj defines, or should we say, welcomes us into this feeling, if you will, of the definition of Advaita as not oneness or non-duality, as he shows there's an implication of one witnessing the oneness, therefore the oneness is false. So then he turns the definition to say that it is not two. And it's a subtle refinement of words, if you will. Ultimately, the words fall short no matter which words we choose. So they're not able to define this entirely, merely fingers pointing. So it becomes an experience, feeling into that oneness, if you will. Many people have experienced this already, where they realize that this world doesn't necessarily revolve around them. There's family members, loved ones, friends that are very connected, and they can feel that connection. They can feel connections with perfect strangers. And oftentimes it's a life circumstance that brings us to that understanding. It kind of has a tendency of jolting us out of a prior belief. And so again, we're back to that experience of things. And Advaita is just that, having this experience, moving into that connection with the all of everything, having that recognition within ourselves of this essence of not two. And so that is, in very short, what Advaita is. Advaita Vedanta. Vedanta is the practice of neti neti. So we're discarding everything that doesn't apply, doesn't fit, essentially is not who we are. So we know that the chair in the room, the chair that we're sitting on perhaps, is not who we are. It's merely present, right? We come to recognize that the body is not who we are. It's merely present. So the mind, not who we are. It is merely present, along with the thoughts. So in our meditation practice, we come to this over and over again. And what is it that we're coming to? We're coming to that presence that's within us. It's a presence that's deeper than the body. It's beyond the mind, but it moves through the body. It moves through the mind. It's what allows for the heart to go thump thump, right? It's what allows the eyes to blink when we're not thinking about blinking. So this is moving in to the subtle space, right? Moving into that subtle space, moving into that presence. So the chair exists because we exist, right? This body exists because we exist. This mind exists because we exist. These thoughts exist because we exist. As we move in further and further, this practice of neti neti, not this, not this. This is not who I am. This is not who I am. This is not who I am. The job title is not who I am. The sorrow, pain, and grief that I feel is not who I am. The pain in my body is not who I am. But these are all very real things. Try to tell somebody that stubs their toe and you see it and say, oh, that's not who you are. They're going to probably be a little bit angry with you. hitting that funny bone. Oh, that's not who you are. And it's not funny either, right? But when we move in a little bit further, we realize, oh, hitting that funny bone, that no, that's not who I am. I'm witnessing the occurrence of it, right? I feel the tingling sensations. I feel the pain at the same time. Stubbing the toe, the pain is felt. But as we move in, there's a space that is created, just this gentle, subtle space. And in this space, we're witnessing these occurrences. We're watching the happening of life as it moves around us, moves through us. Again, back into the presence. We move into that presence, that existence, and we witness these things taking place. The neti neti process comes in. Not this, not this. I'm not that. I'm not this. Then we come to this question phrased by Ramana Maharshi as, who am I? I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, but who is the I stating I'm not this? We fold in yet again. Now this self-inquiry process is starting to take hold. Vichara is the Sanskrit term for self-inquiry. We move in. We're discarding all of these things that are not this I until we come to a place where we question the I. And in that questioning, this oneness, if you will, begins to emanate naturally, like the fragrance from a flower. Its emanation is felt, it's experienced. There's a direct experience of it, subtle as it may be. And we come to this recognition of the not this, that neti neti, is all contained within it. This is where the direct experience is imperative, because to hear it intellectually, it sounds like a paradox. Is this person crazy? Are these teachings crazy? Am I nuts? So we directly feel into the subtleties. The meditation practice can be quite imperative. Moving in, moving in, moving in, moving in. Bringing all of our energies into here. Focusing into center. Bringing it to the heart. And we start to feel into that pool of changeless love that's within the heart. This changeless love emanates freely. There's no conditions. There's no set circumstances. There's no expectations or obligations to it. It just is. It just emanates. Right? This is our isness, our beingness, our I am, as Maharaj will put it. But there's something behind it. What is it that allows for it in the first place? Self-inquiry. We keep practicing this self-inquiry, this oneness, if you will, Advaita Vedanta, this practice of discarding what is no longer applicable, not to discredit it, not to have a lack of compassion or love, but a deeper awareness. We're bringing our awareness into every moment as each moment unfolds. Her presence is this grace walking us through this path, if you will, and the experiences unfold. The synchronicities in life begin to accumulate with greater awareness of the synchronicities. Our awareness becomes fine-tuned, if you will. The subtleties of it become refined. We become more aware of what's taking place internally and detached, if you will, with what's taking place externally. And not in a nihilistic fashion. It seems as though we are capable of greater love, a love that has no conditions, a compassion that is willing to help when help is needed. So this will be the conclusion of that. And we will say that just look within, gently, lovingly, and with kindness. Just look within. question what's going on. Question the pain in the body when we feel some pain. Who's the one witnessing the pain? And feel how just that little tiny notion of who's feeling the pain opens up this gentle space. And in that space, we can come to this realization of the pain is there, but there's something in me witnessing it. And that space that's witnessing that pain is completely okay with the pain being there. And then perhaps in a flash, it comes back full force. And oh my gosh, this pain is terrible. I need to put ice on it or do whatever we do with the pain. But just in that moment where that space opens up, the same space when we feel a strong emotion, anger comes up. And instead of having that knee-jerk reaction to that anger and jumping in with that full force of however we express our anger, all of a sudden we bring in that awareness. Okay, the anger is arising. I can feel the tension in my body. I can feel shoulders tightening up or whatever is taking place. That anger is arising. Awareness is coming in, witnessing that anger arising, and that space opens up, that gentle space. And this is where it's imperative to be gentle and kind and loving with ourselves as we're exploring this. That space opens up, and not that anger. We discard that anger. Nati nati. Not this, and not that anger. Witnessing it, feeling it in the body. Body's tensing, emotions are rising, feel sweat coming on, feel face is flush. But that space is there, not that anger. And right then, in that moment, we have the choice to change that pattern, change that energetic pattern from one of anger that just goes out to one that's witnessing the anger. Says, you know what? I'm going to tackle this problem with a different mindset today. I'm going to move into this anger with a different way of doing things. So I don't have to feel so much emotion. So I don't need to hurt somebody's feelings that later on I end up apologizing for. Just in that little space as it opens up, that awareness comes in, and we can change our life just with that little subtlety. Thank you for watching today, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.